So you probably thought that this channel was dead. So did I. First I was just not getting around to filming videos, and then I kept saying, this month I'll do a video. And that went on for several months. And then the whole pandemic thing happened, and I thought, you know what, I'm actually just not going to do any videos ever again. And so I figured that I'd just let the YouTube channel just fade into memory. But then I kind of got inspired by some friends who have really fun channels, and I was watching their videos and going, oh, I want to do that again. So here I am. So I thought that a good place to start would be with my TBR for the August Trope-ical Readathon, which is based on, all the prompts are based on tropes. And with every readathon that I've done this year, because I've done a couple so far, my plan has been to use the prompts to keep reading all the Australian books that I own, which was my goal for this year. And so far I've been doing really badly at it. Because anywho, so the Trope-ical Readathon has 4 teams. I have chosen the horror and the horror thriller mystery team. And the reason that I chose that is because the team book is Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno-Garcia, which is a book that I've really been looking forward to reading. I follow the author on Twitter, and I've actually got our book club reading it for August, so I was going to read it anyway. So that works out well. This is a 1950s historical fiction haunted house thriller thing, and I've got ridiculously high expectations for it, and like to the point where I'm like, oh god, I'm just going to be disappointed and I've ruined it for myself. So fingers crossed that that doesn't happen, and also fingers crossed that even though it's a haunted house story, it's not going to be too scary, because otherwise I won't be able to finish it because I am a wuss. The other book that I am going to be reading as a team challenge is The Dry by Jane Harper, which is a crime novel. It came out in there's a book sticker on the cover saying it won the Indie Book of the Year Award 2017. It probably came out around then. I've owned a copy pretty much since then, and I haven't read it yet. And she's written 3 or 4 other books now, which are apparently also really good, and I haven't read any of them, so it's really about time that I start. This one will be counting towards the Dark Secret prompt, which is one of the horror mystery thriller team specific prompts. It's about a bunch of people are shot, and the police officer that comes to investigate, it's his hometown, and he's returning after a long time, and he and one of the dead people had some kind of secret, and it's one which Luke's death threatens to unearth. Ooh. So that should be good. I'm looking forward to that one. I haven't read a good sort of crime mystery thing in a while, so looking forward to that. So I haven't, the other team specific prompt for the horror mystery thriller team is a disappearance, and I actually initially thought I'd be reading The Dry for disappearance, but then I read the back and realised that it's just people are dead. No one has disappeared. So I had to swap those, and I don't have a disappearance yet, but maybe I'll think of something. But also there are 3 team challenges and 15 general challenges in this readathon, and the most books I've ever managed to read in a month is 15. 15? I think it was 15, according to Goodreads, and that was back in November 2015. So it's unlikely to happen. So I'm just rolling with what I've got. Let me consult my sheet again. That's the wrong side. So onto the common challenges. Each challenge is based on a trope, but then if you can't quite find a book to fit the trope, then there's an alternate prompt that you can use to fulfill that challenge. So I've got a bit of a mixture. And we'll start with the absent/dead parents trope. Which way should I turn to find the pile behind me? Maybe I shouldn't have them behind me. Maybe I should have them on my lap. So starting with the absent/dead parents trope, I am reading The Blood Countess by Tara Moss. This is the first in the Pandora English series. It came out a few years ago. There was a bit of a gap, but the latest book then has just come out this year, so I thought it was a good time to start. I think it's about vampires. Maybe? Yes. So I'm not the biggest vampires fan, but I really like Tara Moss and I wanted to support her writing, so I got myself a copy of this one and we'll see how it goes. The next prompt is strange names or a book that starts with the first letter of your name. So I wasn't sure about strange names, but a book that I've been wanting to read for a while. It's not an Australian book, but it is Erinsmore by Julia Blake. And it's an ebook and I don't have my e-reader with me, so I'll do the magic thing and put the cover there for you. It's got dragons and that's really all I need to know because I love dragons, so yay dragons. After that is the outbreak/pandemic prompt, or the other option for that one is a book that is part of a series. So I didn't really want to track down any pandemic books at this juncture. So I'm going to read the second book in Rebecca Langham's Beneath the Surface series, which is called Breaking the Surface. It is a sci-fi about, there's like the humans and there's these other aliens that they've forced underground because they're different but like it's a whole like separate but equal thing. And then at the end of the last book, the outsiders kind of rose up and there was a revelation about who they are and where they're from, and so now they're trying to get equal standing with humans, and so yeah, looking forward to reading that one. Also, how gorgeous is the cover? It's so pretty. So many good covers in this challenge. Yes. The next prompt is a dystopia or a book with 500 pages or more, and The Toll by Neal Shusterman actually fits both of those. So my friends and I, when lockdown happened, we started a book club because we couldn't meet to rehearse the musical that we were doing. So the first book we read back in March or April? I can't remember. Anyway, it was April because I didn't read any books in March. The first book was Scythe, which is the first in the Arc of Scythe series, and since we read that, we've all sort of progressively been finishing the trilogy. I think I'm possibly the last one to get there. So I am looking forward to seeing how this one all pans out. I really liked the ending of Thunderhead, which is the second book. So looking forward to seeing how this one all turns out in the end. It'll be good. The next prompt is chosen one or a recommended book. And now that I think about it, I'm not actually sure that this book was ever actually recommended to me exactly. But I first came across it on Twitter. That's where I first became aware of it. And lots of people were talking about it and hyping it up. And I've been recommending it to people myself, even though I haven't even read it, just based on the premise, because it sounds awesome. And that is The Court of Miracles by Kester Grant. And it is basically the shiniest book you've ever seen in your life. Whee! I was trying to take a photo of it when I first bought it, and I couldn't get it at an angle where I couldn't see my own reflection in it. So that's how shiny it is. Anyway, this is kind of an AU Les Mis retelling, and Eponine is the main character, and there's magic, and it sounds amazing. Again, possibly I've hyped it up too much to myself, and it's going to disappoint me, but fingers crossed that that does not happen. So Court of Miracles is that one. So the next prompt is mixed media, and the alternate prompt for that is to listen to an audiobook. And so I am in the middle, not quite the middle, I've started The Tropic of Serpents, which is the second book in the Memoirs of Lady Trent by Marie Brennan, but I'm not overly into it at the moment. So I'm thinking I bought the book Ring of Brightwater by someone. I don't know the author's name off the top of my head, but it's the book about the guy in Scotland with the otters. And I'm thinking that I might actually, maybe I need a bit of a mix up with my audiobooks, and maybe I'm going to listen to that instead. So that sounds nice. It's a short one. It's only like 7 hours or something. So that will probably be what I listen to for an audiobook. And then the last book that I've got on my list is a retelling. And I will be reading Geekerella by Ashley Poston, which I didn't really ever plan to buy or read, but I picked it up secondhand. I saw it there and I'm like, oh yeah, that's kind of popular. So I thought, why not? It was $4. So I've picked that one up, and basically, if I remember correctly, it's like it's a Cinderella retelling, but like in convention and cosplay culture. So it sounds pretty cute and like something I would enjoy. So that's the last one I've got on my list for the readathon. And it has occurred to me as I've been going through those that half of them aren't actually Australian, even though I said, yeah, this is helping me read my Australian fiction, because I've got like a whole shelf on my bookcase that's just Australian books. But they are all books that I own. It's good to be getting through all the books on the bookcase, even if they aren't from that specific shelf. So yay. So that's that. It's good to see you again. Let me know if you're doing the Trope-ical Readathon or any other readathons this month, what you've been reading since I last saw you last September. And hopefully I'll be around a bit more in the future. I said that last time, so like, don't hold me to it. But we'll see. That's all for now, and I'll see you next time. Bye!